A very warm welcome to the second session of the topic time series, and it is presented by Shantala Kulkarni, Department of Statistics, Gokti PU College of Commerce and Science, Belgavi. In today's class, we will see which are the different methods of measuring secular trend. Now, what is secular trend? It is the component of time series. Before I begin with the various methods of measuring secular trend, I would like to brief the four components of time series again. The first component of time series is secular trend. The second one is seasonal variation. The third one is cyclical variations, and the fourth one is irregular variations. These are the four important components of time series, and among these four you are going to study in detail the first one, that is secular trend, which increases consistently or decreases consistently. There is a consistency in the trend. So which are the methods to study secular trend? The different methods what you are going to study here are: the first one, graphical method, where you will be drawing a graph and coming to the conclusion. The second one is known as the semi-averages method. The third one is known as the moving average method, and the fourth one is known as least square method. I repeat, there are four methods. The first one is graphical method, semi-averages method, moving averages method, least squares method. Graphical method and semi-averages method, they are only for the knowledge purpose. It's very simple to understand also. Now let me tell you all from the examination point of view. You'll be having a question of 5 marks from moving averages method, and you will be having a 10-mark question from least squares method. So these are the three important things which you have to know perfectly. We will see each method one by one. The first method, graphical method, or we also call it as freehand method. This is the simplest method of studying trend. Here what do we do? Time is shown on the horizontal axis and values of the variable is shown on the vertical axis. Horizontal axis means x-axis and vertical means y-axis. You only have to plot the points regarding to time and value, and then plot a graph or plot a curve, however it comes. Then you will be joining the points in between, and then you will be drawing a straight line curve, and that we call it as histogram. What is it? The line will be drawn according to personal judgment. It is more biased. To get proper trend line, we must note some points. The curve should be smooth. The second one, approximately there must be equal number of points above and below the curve. The third point, the total deviations of the data above the trend line must be same as the total deviations below the line. Now let us check the merits and demerits. What are the merits and demerits of this? The merits is, it is the simplest method. It is flexible and adaptable. Flexible means it's very easy and convenient. It is based on the person who is drawing it, so it is biased. And what are the demerits here? It is highly affected by personal bias. Highly affected by personal bias means, obviously, if your diagram is not good, your diagram will change. So it will change from person to person. So things will vary. The second demerit or the second disadvantage is, if it is not drawn by experienced person, then it is dangerous to use for forecasting purposes. Yes, if the person is not expert in doing this diagram or this histogram, then there will be personal opinions, like it will be biased, you will be favoring certain things, so it's not good. The third one is, it does not help us to measure trend. Yeah, this is not the exact measure to measure the secular trend. And the fourth, the demerit is, no rigid mathematical formula is laid down for drawing the trend. This is only basically the first method, graphical, it is only based on graph. When we have to make calculations, we need certain strong mathematical background for the result analysis. So these are the merits and demerits. Let us check an example to make the things more clear. What's the example here? Fit a trend line to the following data by graphic method. What is given? Year, profits. The year starts from 2003 to 2009, and the profits value are 65, 95, 85, 115, 110, 120, 130. What you have to do is very simple. You have to draw the graph. Profits are over the y-axis and year is over the x-axis. You take a suitable scale. After taking the suitable scale, here we have taken as 50, 60, 70, the maximum is 140, and the years you mark it towards the x-axis, 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on till 9, and then you are marking all the points. Now for example 2003, the profit value is 65, say, which is marked in red, and then when all these points are marked in red, you are getting these dots here, and then you join them. Now to balance, now they have asked all to draw the trend line, the dotted line, the dotted line, you are trying to cover the maximum point. See, these two red lines, this is one line, these two red lines, you are going to draw it in such a fashion that or you are covering the maximum number of points, and this is how you draw the dotted line, and that is known as the trend line. So this is the representation of time series by graphical method. Let us check one more example for the things to be more simpler. What's the example here? The second example, fit a trend line to the following data by graphic method. Year, production in tons and given. The production may be anything. So the year starts from 2001, 2, 3, so on till 2009. And the production values are 20, 22, 24, 21, so on till 25. So what we have done here, same thing. You are going to x-axis, years are represented, and then y-axis, the production is represented. So the data is, take the scale according to your convenience. The first one, 2001, the value is 20. It's marked in dark dot points here. All these dot points are marked here, and then you are going to draw this dotted line, which is called as the trend line, which covers the maximum number of points. That is how, that is totally, it is based on the expert only. He knows best how to cover those maximum points. So this is histogram, the one which is in black, it is called as histogram, and the dotted line is known as trend line. So the first method is graphical method. Which is the second method? The second method to calculate secular trend is semi-averages method. What does it exactly happen in this method? See, semi-averages means, semi means half. You are dividing the data into two equal parts. It may be there, if suppose there are four groups are there, you will be dividing it into two. In this method, the original data is divided into two equal parts, and the averages are calculated for both the parts. These averages are called semi-averages. The two semi-averages values are written against the centers of the two time spans. Then on the graph sheet, the two trend values are plotted with suitable scale and joined by the straight line, which indicates the direction of the trend. You will understand best when we solve an example on the same. Let us see what are the merits and demerits. Here in statistics, you always have a lot of merits and demerits for every formulae, I can say. You have to just remember what it means, and they are simple also to remember. The first demerit. The first demerit, it is simple to understand than the moving average and least square method. And second, it is an objective method. Everyone who applies this method will get the same trend line. So it is not biased because you are using some basic calculations here. In the first method, what it was happening, you are drawing a graph, and graph will change from person to person. But in this method, you are using little calculations. So most of the time the answers are going to be same. These are the two merits. What are the demerits now? The demerits are, it is affected by the limitation of arithmetic mean. Now arithmetic mean means when you are averaging, you are adding. What are the drawbacks of arithmetic mean? That will curve. Second one, this method is not enough for forecasting the future trend. Here also you are not getting the exact analysis what is needed. Then these are the two demerits. By extending the line, we can draw a straight line by joining the 2 points of the averages. By extending the line, we can predict the future trend. Let us check an example on the same. See, what is the example? Draw a trend line with the method of semi-averages. Same again here. Year 2005, 2006, 2007, 8, 9 and 10. Sales which are thousands in thousands, that is 110, 105, 115, 110, 120, 130. Now how do we do this calculation? Let's check this. Now see here. Now year is written, sales is written. 2005, 2006, 2007, you will be adding all these three, that is 110, 105, 115. You add up, that total you will be getting 330 divided by 3, and that is 110. Now similarly you will be doing the same thing for 2008, 2009 and 2010. And then when you do that same thing, you will add up the totals, 110, 120, 130, and that is 360 divided by 3, that is 120. So basically what is semi-averages? Semi-averages, you are dividing the whole data into two groups. There are 6 observations, so when you divide them into 2, each set will be having 3 observations. The first one, that is 110, 105, 115. The total sums up to 330 divided by 3, it's 110. And then the similar second group is 360 divided by 3 is 120. This is how you solve example on semi-averages method. And how do you plot the graph on the same? You write all the values, draw the graph like the same as you have done for the graphical method, 2005 all the values, and then you plot those semi-averages method. For the first group you got it as 110, and the next one you got it as how much? You got it as 120. So that you will be marking here with red, and those 2 points you will be joining a trend line. Hope you understood. I repeat once more. First you will be drawing the histogram, which is in a zigzag manner with the normal values, that is 2005 and 110. All these values will be marking, and this dotted line which is there, when you get the value, first one as 110 and the second one you are getting as 120, you mark it and you join these two lines. So this gives the value for semi-averages method. Let us do one more example for a doubt to be more clear and for understanding to be very simple here. Draw a trend line with the method of semi-averages. Year 2002, 4, 5, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Sales value, the values are 412, 438, 444, 454, 470, 480, 490, 500 and 530. Now in this particular example, how many observations are there or how many years are there? 9 years are there. Suppose if there are even years, you will be dividing them into 2 equal parts. How do we do this example here? 2002, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, we divide it, like we are dividing the whole group into 2. Here the years are odd number, so one is going to remain. So simple, you leave that middle year is left out, you don't take it into consideration. You only take 2002, 2003, 2004 and 2005. So totally there will be 4 years. So you will be adding all of them, 412 plus 438 plus 444 plus 454 divided by 4, that is 1748 divided by 4, that value you are getting it as 437. Then this 2006 is left out because you cannot add it anywhere. Then you come to the next year, that is 2007, 8, 2009 and 2010. You would add up all these values, that is 480, 490, 500, 530 divided by 4, that is 2000 divided by 4 is equal to 500. This is the second example on semi-averages. Then what do you do here? You plot all these values on this particular graph. The dark black one is called as histogram. So whatever points you get from semi-averages values, that you mark it with red on the graph, and then you join those 2 points by this dotted line, that is known as the trend line. So this is the method of semi-averages, where you will be dividing the data into 2 groups. Now which is the third method? The third method here is moving averages method. So the first one was graphical method, the second one is semi-averages method, the third one is moving averages method. What is this moving averages method? The method of moving averages is also based on arithmetic mean. This is also very simple to do and 100% you will be getting a 5-mark question in the examination. This is actually one of the questions from the passing package. In this method, depending on the specified period, the average value for the number of periods is taken into account, and placing it at the center of the time span, period of moving averages is calculated. It is calculated for successive overlapping groups of time series. The obtained averages are moving averages or trend values, and this period is usually for 3 years, 4 years or 5 years. For 3 years and 5 years the calculation is almost same. There is one minute change for the 4 years that we will see when we are actually, you will understand best when we actually solve an example. Now let us check an example, we will see the merits and demerits. What are the merits of moving averages method? We will check. First one, it is simple and easy to understand. It is more flexible than other methods. It is not only used for measurement of trend but also for measurement of seasonal, cyclical and irregular variations. See, to calculate seasonal, cyclical and irregular, we are using moving averages method. What are the demerits here? The demerits, the method does not provide the trend values at the beginning and the end of the time series. Means because you are grouping here, you are grouping in terms of 3, in 4 and 5 years. So the starting value is being neglected. And the second demerit is, since the method does not establish mathematical relationship, it cannot be used for forecasting. This is also only grouping is done. Proper mathematical calculation is not applied, so the values cannot be accurate, hence you cannot use it to forecast the future trend. So these are the merits and demerits. Let us check a very simple example for 3 yearly moving averages. Now what is it? Same, here all the examples are almost same, year, sales, value, production, it's all given in that fashion only. Year starts from 1995, 96, 97, 98, so on till 2004. Then the sales values are 86, 63, 45, 43, 57, 57, 98, 100, 120, 150. What are we supposed to do here? See, the columns what you need to make. The question is given in the horizontal form, you write it vertically. Here you write the sales. Then the next heading will be writing here it as 3 yearly moving totals. Then the fourth column heading will be writing it as 3 yearly moving averages. What do you do here? 86 plus 63 plus 45. You add all these totals. I repeat, 86 plus 63 plus 45. You write in the between of the year 1996, means 3 years are represented, that is the year 1995, 1996 and 1997 is represented by one single year, that is 1996. So 3 years you will be writing in middle of those 3 years and the middle year here is 1996. The total of 86 plus 63 plus 45 is 194. Then for the next one you remove 86. You remove 86, then you add 63, 45, 58. You remove 86 for the second value, 63 plus 45 plus 58, and that value will be writing in middle of 1997. For the third one you will skip 63, then you will add 45, 58, 43. That value is 146. Then next you will skip 45, 58 plus 43 plus 57. The total here you will be writing 158 in front of 1998. You skip 58, 43, 57, 98. You write it in front of 2001-98. You skip 43, you skip 57, then 57 plus 98 plus 100. That value will be writing in front of 2001, that is 255. Next skip 57, 98, 100, 120. That value will be writing here 310. Skip 98, 100, 120, 150. That is 370. So here what are you going to do? Basically, you are going to make a group of 3 years, and for the next one you skip the first value and you add the next year value. Then for the last total, the last column, 194 is divided by 3. 194 is divided by 3. Then 166 is divided by 3, you are getting 54. 146 divided by 3, you are getting 49. 158 divided by 3, you are getting 53. 198 divided by 3, you are getting 66. 255 divided by 3, you are getting 85. 318 divided by 3, you get 106. 370 divided by 3, you get 122. So this is an example on 3 yearly moving averages. And if they ask you to draw a graph or a histogram, then same process, you are going to mark all the years for x-axis, then the remaining y values, the sales for the y values, mark the graph, take the trend values, the last column whatever you have taken, that will be marking it again here, and those values will be joining in the form of dotted lines, that is called as the trend values. The normal one is the dark one which you mark and then you join, that is the histogram. And the last column का जो values है ना, उसको तुम you'll be joining and then draw the dotted line, that is known as a trend line. So in this class I think it's enough. You learned the graphical method, semi-averages method. We just begun with the moving averages method, and one simple example is done on 3 yearly moving averages. We will be solving some more examples on 3 yearly, then 4 yearly and 5 yearly, and making the concepts more clear. Thank you so much.